in my personal experience, I'm not speaking for others, but in my personal experience, I don't feel in working with spirit world the way I do that they have any chronological idea as to night or day. But I mean, other people would argue the idea that, well, gosh, how come at Christmas time you have other people in photos that you can see through, etc.? Well, because they're family and their whole family is together, and they want to be with their family as much as anybody wants to be with their family.
Sure.
You know, so it's not necessarily, oh, during the Halloween they all come out. And in some of the religions and or earthbound religions, they believe due to different times of the year things are more active.
But if I was to say play the one part skeptic, so to speak, if you were to say you gave credence to one time of the year being more relevant than another, wouldn't that inherently make you more receptive to ideas of the afterworld? Or
myself?
No. I mean, if someone, for example, was moderately psychic and they gave credence to the belief that October 25th was particularly thin or the fall or whatever, wouldn't that necessarily make them more observant of such phenomena during that time of the year simply because they believe it to be true?
Absolutely. Simply because they believe it to be true.
Exactly. If you believe the same thing about spring, it would be exactly the opposite.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Yes.
Interesting. But as far as the ghosts are concerned, do you feel they're not chronologically limited in that regard? They may move through time just as they move through space.
I would think so. I'm not a ghost yet, so...
well, you talk to them more often than I do.
I do.
Is there any sex in the afterlife? I want to know. I realize we're without bodies, so... Might be limiting, but still.
It might be limited. I don't know. You know, maybe you do energy sex or something. You know, I don't know. Because I see them as energy.
Mingle auras a little.
Yeah, mingle auras or bump into one another. I don't know.
Pick up lines on the other side. Ask what they're like. I want to know.
Ooh, let's ask Marilyn Monroe.
There you go.
Her and the Kennedys, they're all together
are there
now.
Any good pickup lines on the other side? You know, hey baby, you want to mingle auras sometime? I'm just curious. You know, do those work on the other side? Once you die, all the people you have to wait to die, they're already there. We'll all meet at the same time. Because if time converges after death, that means we don't have to wait for our loved ones to die to meet up with us. They are there already. I find that thought somewhat comforting, especially if you've known people who've died very young. You know, the fact that they don't have to wait around for you to die. You'll all meet up eventually, or in fact, instantly, perhaps. In our world, things happen in a specific chronologic order, right? Things are happening at this time, at this moment, this happens, and at that time, this happens. But if time converges upon death, that would mean everything is happening all the time, which is a difficult concept to wrap your head around. And as evidence to this possibility, I cite the fact that if you wanted to, you could channel someone who's still alive, couldn't you?
Absolutely.
Well, wouldn't that...
I accidentally do that all the time.
Wouldn't that necessarily mean that perhaps time converges upon death? That you can channel someone who's still alive because they are also dead right now, because you're channeling the afterlife where time is all one. It's a complicated phenomenon, but wouldn't that make sense?
He needs his own show.